Good morning from the National Weather Service in Raleigh. It's Nick Petro with your routine Monday morning weekly briefing for Central North Carolina on this 6th of October, 2025. So, as I usually like to do, let's start off with looking at the big picture and the map here. And, well, there's a couple things. Let me turn these temperatures off here and we will, oh, let's see here. I rearranged my monitors, so I have to kind of get used to where things are at now. All right, there we go. All right, there's my highlighter. Okay, so a couple things. Well, this is our next weather maker right here. This is all part of a cold front that's basically going to gradually move south and eastward. In the meantime, we have high pressure, and that's given us the nice weather that we're seeing. So let me go ahead and remove this drawing here, and we can kind of zoom in and see how, the rain is obviously to our west with these lower clouds and to our south with that return flow. Temperature wise, let me just kind of stop this and go to the latest here. So we're on our way to lower 80s, mid 80s perhaps in some spots. Feels pretty nice out there. Mainly clear skies. I think we're going to have a really nice day. And then, as I pointed out, as the system over, the Midwest moves to the east, eventually we'll see some clouds tomorrow begin to move in, and maybe after a bit of fog in the east, and then rain might arrive as late as, or as early rather, I should say, as early as late tomorrow night. More likely on Wednesday when that front actually moves through. So, looking to the east in the tropics, yeah, it's still hurricane season. There's this area here in the right in the middle of the screen, the hurricane centers. Keeping an eye on that. I'll talk about that in a minute when I show the tropical weather outlook. This is just part of an old system, frontal system here. So anyway, this mass, long stretched out line of clouds. So anyway, that's what we got currently going on. Let's jump to the slides. And here are the weather maps. There's the high pressure in the upper left right over us, giving us the nice weather today. You'll see on Wednesday the depiction of a front approaching and moving through. So rain chances, albeit light rainfall amounts, will return to the forecast for Tuesday night through Wednesday, again associated with that front. Once that front pushes through, that should clear us out, at least briefly, for Thursday and Friday, giving us a return to sunshine during the daytime, but temperatures will be quite a bit cooler. So we're talking seasonable temps, if not maybe a few degrees below normal for late this week, the latter 2 days of the work week. And then you'll notice, see where that front stalls on the Friday map? Just to our south. It's not unusual still this time of year for fronts to hang up just off the coast. And when they linger out there over water, low pressure sometimes develops on them. And this low will be sort of a non-tropical origin because there's a big upper level low that's going to approach the southeast. And that will be a big player in driving that low pressure development. So, obviously we always have to look for tropical transitions or tropical influences, but regardless, that could bring some wind and some rain to coastal and perhaps eastern North Carolina over the weekend. Now, how far close it is to the coast or how far away from the coast it is will determine how much rain we get in central North Carolina. But again, the best rain chances will be across eastern North Carolina this weekend. So we'll be keeping our eyes on that. Oh, by the way, I wanted to also mention when that front moves through during the midweek Wednesday, there could be a stray thunderstorm on Wednesday. But so watch out for any lightning, but not expecting any severe storms at this point in time for Wednesday with that frontal passage. All right, how about rainfall? Dry today. The green you see painted across the western half of the state Tuesday is mainly Tuesday night. So most of the daytime will be dry across central North Carolina. There on Wednesday is our rainfall amounts with that frontal passage, a quarter to maybe a half inch. We'll take any amount of rain we can get. It's been dry, but certainly not the amount of rain that we really need. And then Thursday and Friday, mainly dry across central North Carolina. Again, keeping our eyes on the coast, close to the coast for the weekend, as some of that rain might get going, and again, mainly for eastern North Carolina. So Not a lot of rain again, at least across the middle of the state. We could use it. It's been dry. Anyway, that's what we've got coming up. No risk for flash flooding this weekend. No severe thunderstorms expected. Although I did put in some parentheses there, although some lightning is possible on Wednesday. I know there's a lot of this time of year, there's a lot of outdoor activities, evening sports activities and whatnot that are outdoor. So again, keep in mind there could be some cloud to ground lightning on Wednesday. All right, but not severe. All right, now back to the tropics. Remember I showed earlier. Remember I showed this little mass of clouds out here over the middle of the Atlantic. Here's the tropical weather outlook from the Hurricane Center, and they're talking about, it could form, given about a 50-50 chance of formation within the next 2 days, but a 70% chance of formation through the next 7 days, as long as conditions remain conducive, some gradual development is possible. So, tropical depression likely to form within the next few days, according to the tropical weather outlook. Keeping an eye on it. Most of the models have this recurving, staying well to our east. Again, remember, anytime there's a tropical cyclone anywhere in the Atlantic, that can bring increased risk for rip currents along the east coast of the U.S., including the North Carolina beaches. Although, again, this aside, we are obviously could be dealing with some gusty winds at the coast this weekend, not due to this, but due to that system that could form close to our coast, as I talked about earlier. Okay, what about next week? Not this week, next week. Above normal temperatures are favored, and there's a signal that slightly above normal precipitation favored, but perhaps that's due to that coastal system that I talked about earlier. We'll keep our eyes on that. All right, what about hazards? The only thing hazardous-wise could be that lightning that I talked about on Wednesday. Again, that's not going to be widespread or frequent lightning. It's just a few lightning strikes here and there. Again, just keep that in mind in case you have any outdoor activities. And then wrapping things up here, buttoning it all together. Again, quiet weather today through daytime Tuesday. Rain chances, light rain mainly, will return in the forecast Tuesday night through Wednesday with that front. That front will move to our south, giving us some nice weather for Thursday and Friday. Cooler though. We'll see temperatures hanging out in the 60s maybe on Thursday, maybe getting to the low 70s by Friday. And then watching that coastal low of non-tropical origins that may develop off our coast and move northward this weekend. So our rain forecast for this weekend is going to depend on how close that system gets to the coast. So anyway, stay tuned. Overall, low impact weather expected this week. Again, other than that, few lightning strikes on Wednesday, and keeping an eye on the coast for this upcoming weekend. So that's what we have for our Monday morning routine weekly briefing for Central North Carolina.